Well, it's been a while since I made one of these iPad videos, and especially now since iPad OS 17 is officially here, there's a lot of new tips and tricks and some hidden features I like to go ahead and cover. Because the thing I noticed, a lot of people tend to overlook these because you're missing like some capabilities, like the freedom to lock apps, so you can actually give it to your kid. They don't actually go into another app in case they're watching something on Netflix. You don't want them to accidentally send a text message to somebody. And so in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and show you all that and more in today's tips and tricks video. Let's begin. Starting with was that guided lock access. To have access to this, just launch the setting app on your iPad and then go into accessibility. Scroll down where you see general, guided access. Enable this, go into passcode setting, create a separate passcode, and now launch the app you want to have locking capabilities on. Triple tap the power button until you get to this screen. Tap start, enter the passcode to confirm, and then you're set. And to exit, just repeat that process again, enter the passcode, and then just tap end on top of here. How easy is that? Next thing I want to cover is the spotlight search. This is a powerful tool because not only can you quickly add events to your calendar, but you can also enter mathematical questions. It'll give you the answers right here. Unfortunately, there is no calculator on the iPad, which is kind of shocking. As advanced as the iPad is, there's no like dedicated calculator app. So if you're looking for a calculator app, I highly recommend this one. It's called CalWidget. CalWidget. I'll have it linked in the description down below, but this allows you to interact and quickly enter mathematical questions right here on the homepage on the widget itself. And if you click on it long enough, it will also launch the actual app. And you could actually purchase, if you decide to, you could purchase the pro version to have customizable abilities and such to change the colors, but I'm perfectly fine with just the free version. Now, real quick, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit that like button as it literally only takes 2 seconds and allows me to continue producing these sponsorship free type of videos. So if you enjoy this, hit that like button, and it also helps others to also see this video so they can also get some good usage out of their device. Let's resume. Now, when it comes to gestures, the important gesture controls is this. Four fingers to the right or left will allow you to quickly switch between the previously open apps. You can also use this little bottom portion to switch between apps as well. Long hold in the middle will also open up your previously open apps. And then if you're trying to move the cursor in a certain spot, if we detach from the magic keyboard, you can long hold on the keyboard and will allow you to use this as a cursor. And now, multitasking gestures can be mostly found here in Safari. To give you a quick overview of how they work, the dot portion right here on the center screen, you could quickly enter split view. And depending on the app, you could run two apps at the same time in split view. Some are supported and some are not. But this is how it looks like when you're multitasking. And of course, you could long hold right here in the center black bar to close it or make it larger to your own personal preference. And then of course the dock, you can always long hold and open up apps like this as well. But a new tool for iPad OS is you can add more apps down here as well. In addition to that, you may also create folders. Now, the apps, in my opinion, they could be a little bit larger as there's a lot of extra space on the home page. You could change the size to this. So to do this, just quickly go into your settings, go into home page and app library, and enable large app icons and how the apps are larger. And in my opinion, I think it looks better this way, especially if you're using something like an iPad Pro. Now, a big security flaw about the iPad is the control center because when we lock our screen, if somebody steals your iPad, they can always just do this and enable the airplane mode, making it difficult for you to track it in case you have LTE. So I recommend disabling this. So by going into your iPad settings, go into the Face ID and passcode, scroll down, and disabled control center. If you're trying to do this on lock page and the iPad is not unlocked, it's not going to do anything. And then viewing content on the iPad is awesome. It's a much larger screen than any smartphone, and it's super convenient, especially if you're stuck at the airport. But if you have somebody else who also wants to view, listen to what you're viewing, you can always audio share. And audio sharing is extremely easy. So long as they have an AirPod or some compatible Beats headset or earbud, they could easily do this. Simply bring down Control Center on the top corner right here, follow the on-screen instructions, and that is how you audio share on one device with two different earbuds or headphones. And you have total freedom to adjust the volume and also control the different modes that each earbud has access to. Pretty neat. Not only the M1 as well as the M2 iPads have access to this more space support. So if you have an iPad and you just want to utilize as much real estate space as much as possible on this display, if you go in your iPad settings and where it says home, screen, and library, and then you tap on display and brightness, and if you scroll down where it says display zoom, check mark more space, and this will give you much more real estate space to fit more stuff on the display. Now, there's a couple of cool nifty tools that you can find on Safari. One of which, if you're reading like an article like this, if you go on the very top portion right here, where it shows these two A's on the search bar, there is a new listen to page icon, and we tap here. Siri, let me pause this. In real life, Safari will read out loud the article, and you have the capability to pause, play, go back, or skip forward, just like as if you're listening to a podcast. Now, if you need to backtrack a lot by long holding on the back arrow, this will allow you to quickly jump between different pages instead of spamming the back key. Now, unless you're subscribed to YouTube Red, there's no other way to get YouTube picture-in-picture support here. But thankfully, there's a third-party app that is called, and that is this app right here, which I have a hard time pronouncing, but I'll have a link in the description. But by installing this app, it's free to download, and you launch a video on YouTube, and you tap the little puzzle piece on top here, click on the app, it will actually launch picture in picture, and you can change the size, you can move it aside so you can listen to it as you're multitasking with your iPad, or you close it all entirely or click on it right here in this portion as you can go back to the main window. So this is a cool little walk around for picture in picture functionality for YouTube or even other third parties. Now, other new multitasking menus can be located in the control center. This multitask stage manager allows you to run multiple different apps at the same time, but now has support where you could click and drag it and just continue doing this to have as many windows as open as much as possible, and you could rearrange them, giving you a nice like realistic multitask menu that we haven't yet seen before. So Apple enhanced this and made it more fluid than ever before. Now, the Apple Pencil is a powerful tool, and it's definitely the best companion you could purchase with the iPad. As a little swipe from the corner portion right here, we'll take a screenshot. You can scribble, use some of these useful tools like the ruler and stuff, but other nifty things the Apple Pencil can offer is in the log page, you just tap on the display, it will immediately allow you to take a note. And then if you're doodling, if you long hold, if you make a circle, it will actually make into a perfect circle. Same goes for other shapes like squares and rectangles. And if you actually write down something, you can always search it up with the search menu right here on your notes. It's smart enough to identify handwritten notes. But if you're like me who also stores personal notes and you don't want others to also be aware of, you can also lock those notes individually with a separate passcode to give you the best privacy as much as possible. Then also another nifty feature is you could share these notes. So if you're collaborating with somebody, you can add as many people you want and everybody will have access to this note and it will update in real time. I use this all the time, super beneficial, especially when you're collaborating with a team. And still with the Apple Pencil, you can always just write down what you're trying to search as well. It's smart enough to also be able to be used as the keyboard. Now, majority of iPads now have USB-C, which allows you to use external hard drives, SD cards, and etc., and allows you to charge other devices this way as well. Really do utilize the USB-C. But a powerful tool that I personally love to use the most is when I combine my iPad with my MacBook Pro or any Mac OS computer, as it allows you to use Sidecar, which allows you to use this as an extended display for your portable needs. Easily does give you the best screen real estate as much as possible, and I find this more beneficial than carrying around a portable monitor because I could use the iPad as a normal iPad once I'm done. And then as an added bonus, I almost forgot to mention this, is see my mouse cursor is over here. I could casually just transfer it over one device to the other, and if I have a Magic Keyboard, I could do the exact same thing, or I'm controlling my mouse from the Magic Keyboard. It's really cool and pretty cool when it comes to multitasking if you're just watching a YouTube video on the side and just do that. And just like that, now you are a pro when it comes to using your iPad. Again, all these will apply on any generation iPad. Doesn't matter if you have an iPad mini, Air or iPad Pro, you'll be able to find all these cool tips on those devices as well. Now, if you enjoy these product full potential tech videos, make sure you also are subscribed, as I basically cover all this and more. For example, if you have an Apple Watch, highly recommend checking out that video over there where I cover my favorite tips and tricks for that device as well. Thank you so much for watching.